Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome. I thought I would just pop on. I have had quite a few questions about the 40-day challenge. Some people are calling it, I'm choosing to call it a journey that I'm offering in January. And there's been several of you that have reached out, kind of being unclear exactly what the whole program is. And so I would like to try and clear that up here. And I also encourage you to email me personally if you have questions. And I have met with some people already one-on-one, face-to-face on a Zoom call. So I'm happy to do that as well too, to meet with you for 15 minutes, answer your questions and so forth. But what this is going to look like is a 2-hour live session on Zoom every day. And we're going to meet at 12 Pacific. However, you can come in to the room about 10 minutes before, and there will be 10 minutes where you can chat with one another. I will be there, happy to answer questions, all of that. So you can come in at 11:50, and then at 12 o'clock, we're going to work, and then work is not the right word, we will settle. We'll come to the yoga mat. For those of you that are doing the physical practice in a chair, that is fine as well too. Grounding, settling, arriving, just kind of a little bit of letting go and landing, transitioning from wherever you were until where we are now. And then we're going to move through some physical movement in the body. And as I said in the previous video, this movement will be very gentle, accessible, and it's not intended to, of course it's going to move some energy in your body, but it's not like a power yoga practice or anything like that. And we'll be moving anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes depending on the day and depending on what I'm observing and what I'm picking up with the group. After that, we will have a short break. You can run to the bathroom, get a glass of water, do what you need to do. And then we're going to come back and work on a little bit of breath. And I have several different breath practices I would like to share with you over the course of the 4 weeks. And we'll do probably 2 or 3 of them and then build and expand on the stages of those breath practices and do that together. And then I can observe and work with you individually as well too. Part of the process of coming into balance, whether it is mental stuff that's going on for you now, physical stuff, emotional things, is learning to breathe. And of course, we'll be doing conscious breathing through the movement part of the class. But after that, we're going to focus solely on the breath. And we're going to start just simply lying on our backs and understanding what a full body breath means, because that can be a challenge when we're feeling a lot of stress. And so that is the next part of the class, is breath. After breath, generally speaking, most days we are going to do some kind of a pre-meditation practice. And I would like to offer you something right now, just so you get a sense of the kind of things we're going to do. And all of these practices, I'm hoping to do 4, 1 each week, and each week we'll expand on the practice, are ways to help you function during the day. And of course, you can take them into a longer meditation later in the evening or whenever you sit quietly if you do. But they're also skills to help you feel better during the day. So let's just practice one now. I just kind of think this is a good thing to share it with you. So this particular practice is called inner silence, Antarmon. Mona is the Sanskrit word for silence. And what this practice is about is to really understand and to observe the noise in the brain, the noise in the mind. And so when we focus on inner silence, what we notice actually is the inner noise and the inner chaos. And a lot of the time, we're totally oblivious to the inner noise. And so this practice called inner silence, Antarmon, is one to eventually transition to inner silence. Okay? And this will be a short practice. You can do this in a chair. You could do this lying down. If you tend to fall asleep, you might want to sit up. If you want to come into a comfortable posture on the floor, you can do that as well too. There's no contraindications for this, so it's safe for everybody. So however you are, if you're seated, just take a few breaths. You can go ahead and close your eyes and bring your body into neutral alignment, shoulders over hips, nice long back of the neck, deep breaths. And if you are on your back, same thing. You may need to adjust your pelvic tilt or put something underneath your knees so your low back feels healthy. And then walk your shoulder blades together so you have a slight heart opening. Palms usually facing upward when you're lying on your back. In Antar-Moon, we focus on the senses. And there are 3 parts to each of this practice. One is we focus on the sense organ itself. Another is we focus on whatever it is we're receiving through that sense organ. And then the other part, excuse me, I've been teaching for a while. The other part is to focus on in yoga we call it the witness. We bring awareness to who perhaps is observing all of this. So let's begin with the sense of sound. Be fully aware of the sense of sound. You can take your hearing far into the distance. You could be observing sounds in the room you are in. And just scan from sound to sound. And notice the number of sounds all around you. There may even be internal sounds you are aware of. And then also become aware of your ears themselves. The physical organ of the ear. The internal architecture of the ear. And can you simultaneously be aware of the inner architecture of the ear and the sound at the same time? And then the third part is to observe the observer. Who or what aspect of yourself is observing all of this? And so while we focus on the sense of sound, you're focusing on sounds, the ears themselves, as well as the witness of all of this. And then release the awareness of sound, the ears. And become aware of your fingers, your skin, perhaps the cool air on any exposed skin. Any sensations on your scalp, your feet. As we focus on the sense of touch, the feelings on the skin, be aware of the sensations in the hair, the back of the neck, the cool or warm sensations on the skin. Any tingly sensations or whatever you're feeling. And then become aware of the hands themselves, the fingers, the palms, the backs of the hands. And what about the skin on the arms, the skin over the elbows? The skin on your face. Can you be aware of the skin, the hands, and the sensations of touch, the feelings of touch all at the same time? And then ask yourself, who is observing this? And release the sensation of touch and come to your mouth. And be aware of your lips, your tongue, the palate on the roof of the mouth, the saliva. We're going backwards here. I find in the mouth it's easier to go with the physical first. And then come to the sensation of taste. What do you taste in your mouth? Is it alkaline, metallic, salty, sweet? Is it moist or dry? Be fully aware of the sensation of taste. And observe the tongue. The whole tongue. The sides, the middle, the back of the tongue. And how are the sensations of taste beginning to shift as you focus completely on your mouth? Is the quality of the saliva changing? Who is observing all of this? Who is observing the saliva? Who's observing the tongue, the taste? Who knows how to name the taste? And then swallow and become aware of your hands. And rub your hands together. And then cup your hands over your eyes. And then come back. So that is a little sample of the Untitled practice, which is one of the practices that we are going to develop through the course of the 4 weeks. And so after we do each of the things that I've mentioned so far, there'll be opportunity, of course, for journaling and questions and all of that. And then the last part of the day is we have a few different practices that we're going to do that help with going a little bit deeper into identifying what is at the root of your stress, what is at the root of your physical ailment, or whatever reason you have come to this program for. Some of them are more like a guided meditation. Some of them are more active journaling practices. One practice is quite interactive. And so in the last 30 minutes, we're really going to feel and go deep. And it will likely stir up some laughter and some crying, and hopefully leave you feeling like you've got a lot to explore over the next 39 days, but also feeling supported and feeling like you're in a safe place. And my intention for this 40 days is that you create some freedom. You create some space so that all of this is not so overwhelming. And that through the many different tools that I offer over this 40 days, you have more in your backpack, if you will, so that you can better manage the stress as it arises. And one of the things I said in the previous video was that if we can learn how to respond rather than to react, then we know that we're starting to move in the right direction. It's a really beautiful way to check in. And that reaction can come through the skin. It can come through skin irritation. I'm not just talking about reaction of the vocabulary of the mouth or of the what's it, like the loudness of the way that you speak, or the suddenness with which you speak, or act, or move your body, right? Reactions come through our body language, reactions come through our skin, reactions come through in many different ways. How we respond it's a really interesting way to observe how we're progressing through the process of our journey. I hope that makes sense at some level. Anyway, that's what we're going to be doing for 40 days. And the more often you can, sorry, I'm a little cold, the more often you can attend the class in person, I feel the deeper that you will get. And it is an option to not attend in person every day. You will get a video, and I've said my commitment to you is to have the video posted in the group within 2 hours of the class. So you'll have a 22-hour period with which to view it before the next day's class. Okay? Yeah. So thanks for being here. Let me know if there's anything else that isn't clear. And you can go to the shop in my linked below. You can go to the shop on my website, and right now the program is offered as a single payment or 3 payments, and you can choose to do either of those. Stay well, everybody, and be kind to one another. Namaste.